I believe that whoever then decided to make such a decision. This one who was able to make such a decision. He changed virtually the entire automotive industry.
We are talking about the release of the BMW X5, the first SUV from the Bavarian automaker, which set the fashion all over the world. It was first presented to the public at the turn of the millennium, in 1999.
It was a revolutionary step. That is, they decided to build a tall car on the basis of the 5th series, where you sit higher, have a better seating position, a certain ground clearance, but not so that it is completely off-road.
Today the BMW Group owns the BMW, Mini, Rolls-Royce and BMW Motorrad brands, which produces motorcycles. The group's sales network has spread to 140 countries around the world.
Already in the 1950s, BMW began to build an image of a premium brand. The central figure for the German brand has always been the driver.
If, for example, its direct competitor Mercedes is a car mostly for the passenger, that they are constantly trying to change with different models, then BMW has always put the power of the car, this driver comfort, in the foreground.
Customer focus has resulted in a tagline in Europe, the perfect car to drive. In North America, full drive.
All these slogans, they are still based on the fact that this is a premium car, where you want to get the most for that speed and power. We live in a world where each country has its own cultural codes. Consumers perceive power differently, perceive speed differently. And to do this, brands talk to them in the context that is most interesting to the audience of a particular country.
In 2006, the slogan of the premium brand acquired a somewhat unexpected sound: company of ideas.
This is a story about the fact that no matter what your ideas are, where to go to take with you, who to take with you on board your car, for your favorite idea, there is a BMW car.
A powerful tool for popularizing the brand was product placement in cult James Bond films. Luxury cars organically fit into the movie saga about Agent 007.
Indeed, it's very cool to communicate with his style. Such a dude who scatters everyone in a suit, powerfully, strongly cuts down. This is really in the nature of BMW.
For the first time, James Bond saddled a horse from the Bavarian concern in 1995. In the film GoldenEye, Pierce Brosnan drove around Cuba in a blue BMW Z3. After the release of this part of the franchise, the model became a real hit.
For example, in the United States, the year after the release of GoldenEye, in 1996, 15,000 BMW Z3s were sold, and a year later even more, 19,700. For comparison, a similar model Porsche Boxster in the States in 1997 sold barely 7,000.
In 1997, in Tomorrow Will Never Die, a special agent of British intelligence got behind the wheel of a BMW 750 Illinois. The filmmakers stuffed the car with armored glass, machine guns and even rockets. In the same part of the saga, James Bond also used a motorcycle from a German brand. He ran away from scoundrels on the A1200C model. And in the film The Whole World Is Not Enough, Brosnan switches to a BMW Z8, which is epically cut in half by the enemies of the special agent. However, for the sake of fairness, the image of Bond is still most associated not with BMW, but with Aston Martin. On the car of this brand, the filmed hero of Ian Fleming can be seen most often. It's just that a beautifully shot picture is not enough, it does not trigger. And brands have long had to be as inventive as possible. One way to attract attention is competitive marketing, or comparative advertising.
In Ukraine it also exists, but in such a very light form, it is not used much yet. Abroad, in different countries, this is a separate culture.
BMW skillfully teases its fierce competitors in advertisements. So in 2003 Billboard appeared, where a leopard-colored BMW X5 chases Mercedes ML, painted as a zebra. Bavarians mocked their rivals with a poster of a Mercedes transporter carrying several BMW cars, captioned "Mercedes can also be fun." Next, the Bavarians attacked the Jaguar. On the advertising poster, the opponents seemed to be frightened and turned around with the emblem from BMW.
Why do such comparable companies use brands at all? Because you show that there is a period when, in general, brands are considered by the consumer before purchasing their products, and it is beneficial for Audi, BMW, Mercedes and such premium cars not to be compared, for example, with Koreans.
In 2019, the Bavarians once again subtly made fun of their compatriot competitor. After Mercedes CEO Dieter Zetsche retired, BMW filmed a humorous video about his last day in office. The role was played by the actor Simon Licht, popular in Germany. It is from this Mercedes that he touchingly says goodbye to his colleagues, goes home, and then changes to a BMW car. Allegedly, now he is finally free and may not hide his true preferences. However, the video still ended with a curtsy to Zetsche. BMW thanks him for many years of inspiring competition. Since 2015, BMW has been dragged into the maelstrom of a diesel scandal. Bavarians were fined €10 million for devices that underestimated harmful emissions. And in 2021, the European Commission proved a cartel conspiracy of 5 German automakers, Volkswagen, Audi, Daimler, Porsche and BMW. Industrialists possess technologies that allow you to purify harmful substances much better than provided for by EU standards. But they decided not to make too much effort and not to do it.
As a result, the European Commission imposed penalties on automakers. BMW has to pay €373 million, Volkswagen, which owns the Volkswagen, Audi and Porsche brands, to pay €502 million, but Daimler escaped punishment, because it was this company that notified the European Commission about the violation.
In 2013, the American Employment Equity Commission filed a lawsuit against the automaker. The German manufacturer was accused of illegally not renewing the contract with 88 logisticians at its plant in South Carolina. Most of these people were black, so the company was also accused of racism. BMW claimed it fired these people due to their criminal past, but the district court ordered the company to pay $1.6 million in compensation and offer them reinstatement. 2021 was a challenging year for BMW and all global auto manufacturers. A serious blow to this area was dealt by the global shortage of chips, due to which numerous production failures occurred. In such conditions, the Bavarian concern relied on the production of the most expensive models. And they did not lose.
In the third quarter, the German automaker produced about 600,000 cars, that is, 12% less than in the same period last year. However, the company's profits in the third quarter increased by as much as 50%, to €2.9 billion.